right, well, I think it's time we will get started. So I hear this talk multiple times this week if you're coming, but our practice this week is called State of Mind. So we're all, I think, dealing with states of mind that are a little unsettled. So according to the yogis, there are 5 states of mind, going from the very active, unpredictable monkey mind to a very blissful, calm, peaceful mind. And then there are all the stages in between. So as you guys come down, I'll share about what those stages are, and then we'll be working a little bit on shoulders and hips today. So go ahead, come on your backs. Right. So go ahead and come into a nice, slow, deep breath, because our breath is really one of the main vehicles for changing our state of mind. So often our state of mind is reflected in what we're feeling in our body and vice versa, as we were just kind of talking about before class. So, when our mind feels and senses all the stress, it goes into survival mode, fight, flight, tend to have more agitation in the body as well. So maybe we can't sit still, maybe we're very fidgety, always need to be doing something with our hands. So sometimes that's a reciprocal situation. So breathe nice and slow and deep. It starts to slow the brain waves down. So it'll shift our state of mind. And of course, in yoga, we always talk about being present. So if we're thinking about something in the past or the future, the mind will tend to be jumping around more versus being focused in the present moment. Yoga also gives us anchors for the mind to tether to. So that could be focusing on your breath, as we are doing now. Could be using a word or a mantra to tame the monkey mind. So we might use a mantra like a Sanskrit phrase, like soham. Soham means I am that. So it's a real simple one. We can also tether the mind to the body, as we do in somatic work. So we're always noticing our body, especially the inner workings. We can also tether our mind to an image. So yogis use tools like a mandala to gaze at, or a candle flame. So these are different ways we can tame the mind. The first stage, as I mentioned, is the monkey mind, where the mind is very restless. It shifts from one thought or emotion to another, hard to make decisions, hard to accomplish anything because we can't stay focused long enough to do so. So the monkey mind, we lack clarity, we lack direction in life, even just simple things like reading a book. Our mind can't stay there long enough. And then there's the opposite of the monkey mind, which is the donkey mind. That's mudha. Mudha is kind of more of a dull, heavy, clouded mind. Brain fog, depression, fatigue. And again, poor concentration goes hand in hand with this. So the mudha mind is very kind of reluctant to want to problem solve or to think too much. It's just very unclear. Then we get into vikshipta, which is the butterfly mind. And the butterfly mind is sort of like, I'll land on something for a moment. I'll focus for a moment, but then I'm off to the next thing, and it's very fleeting. So it's a little bit more focused than the monkey mind or the donkey mind, but it's still kind of lacking stability, like a restless butterfly jumping from one flower to another. Vikshipta, we only can experience momentary stillness. And so it can be an obstacle to concentration and meditation. And we have two more. So the last two are a little bit more focused. The ekagra, which is the crane mind. And the crane mind can be single pointed. It can focus on that mantra, the breath, the body. It can be in that focus for an extended period of time without jumping to and fro. Very much absorbed in what you're doing. It could be like when you're, absorbed in an activity and you're very focused on that activity, ekagra. And then finally, we have nirodha, which is the mastered mind, where the mind is completely still, no longer agitated, disturbed by either external or internal forces. And it doesn't need the crutch of a mantra or a picture or an anchor. It simply is. It's simply being. It's just that state of pure bliss, pure awareness. So these are discussed in the Yoga Sutras. These 5 states of mind in yoga hold a lot of significance and can help illuminate our path towards stillness and awareness. So from here, we're going to start to do our movement practice. I'm going to ask you to just start by moving the head a little to the right, opening up to the neck and then back to center and to the left. And just go ahead and move your head right to left a few times and just checking in with your own state of mind. Now, we've had a few minutes to be still and to kind of focus on our breathing, but what's it been like in general, right? Off your mat. Has the mind been more of a monkey mind, a donkey mind, butterfly mind, crane mind? Nirodha takes a lot of, let's say, practice to get there. Now, next time you turn your head to one side, press the opposite shoulder down and then release, and then turn your head to the other side and press the opposite shoulder into the floor. But with practice, we can get to nirodha faster and faster, right? So if we never meditate, we sit down to meditate, we maybe can't expect that we're going to get there on the first try. The more we do it, the more we practice, we can drop into ekagra and nirodha a lot faster than if we don't discipline ourselves. So it's all about the discipline. Okay, go ahead and come back to the center. Let's take a full body stretch. And we'll come into our up, slip, down, slip movement. So as you inhale, reach through your right arm, right leg. Then exhale, soften. And then left arm, left leg, inhale. Exhale, soften. Now just go side to side a few rounds. Thinking about lengthening from deep in your joints. Deep in the hip, deep in the shoulder. Flex the feet so you push through your heel. And you might press your thigh into the floor for a little more opening through the hip flexor psoas area. Make sure you reach your arm and leg on an inhale, relax on an exhale. We're going to do one more round on each side. And then after your last one there, go ahead and relax your arms down and take a pause. Okay, we're going to bend the knees, set the feet flat, and then cross right leg over left leg, arms out to a T, And just go ahead, windshield wiper the legs a few times, right to left. And you can do head going opposite. I think we did this one last week, but we're gonna move into a different version of our arch and curl in a moment, keeping the legs the same way. Okay. And then we'll come back to the center. Keep the legs crossed at your inner thighs and squeeze them together. Squeeze your inner thighs. That helps strengthen your adductor muscles as well as your pelvic floor. And then hands behind the back of the head. So we're going to inhale, arch the back. Exhale, curl up, squeeze the inner thighs. Press your lower back down, and then repeat. Inhale, come down, arch. Exhale, squeeze the inner thighs, curl up. Now, if you want more, you're going to pick the foot up. Inhale, arch. Exhale, knees and elbows, squeeze in. So you can either do it with your foot on the floor, or you can lift the foot up and curl in. Try to finish your exhale phase as you come up. So really squeeze out the air, compress. And we'll do 2 more. So that compression, that squeezing, can be beneficial for our state of mind. Because as we do the squeeze and the compression, we're reducing air element in the body, which is the vata principle. Go ahead and release your foot, release your arms, take a few breaths. We'll be doing that on the other side in a moment. So the vata principle can create a monkey mind because it's too much air and air moves. Air is very light, it's not very stable. So if we have a lot of air in our own system, vata principle will tend to be a little more flighty, a little more like I can't focus. So when we decrease air element in the body, it's said to create more compression, condensation, compacting, getting the air out, more solidity, more earth element. That can be grounding. A lot of times when we have monkey mind, we need grounding. So we'll go other side. Left leg on top, crossing the inner thighs, arms out to a T, starting with the windshield wiper, with the legs crossed. Let your head go opposite of your knees. Waking up those outer hips and lower back a little bit. Remember to focus on the present moment, what you're feeling in your body, and go slowly. So easy to start to pick up pace. But if we want to slow down the mind, it's usually easier to go through the doorway of the body and slow the body down, to slow those brain waves down. Okay, back to the center. Interlace your hands behind the back of your head, and we'll go into our arch and curl with the leg squeeze. So inhale, arch. Exhale, curl up with or without lifting that foot. And so, you know how hard you feel like working in this moment, keeping the foot down. It's going to be a little more gentle. So try a few more. Okay, so 2 more. Get that all that air. And then release. Let the arms come down, feet could be flat or legs could extend if you like. Just take a breath or 2 in your pause. Okay, arms out to a T again. Feet as wide apart as the mat. Drop your knees to the right. Look to the right. Drop your knees to the left. Look to the left. Drop your knees to the right. Push into your feet. Roll to your right side and drape your top arm behind your back. And then come back to center, arms out to a T, roll to your left, drape your arm behind your back. Go side to side a few times. So opening up the front of the shoulder a bit here. The head's gonna come off the floor a bit. You can even rest it on your bottom arm as you roll to your side. Okay, next time you roll to your right, stay there, drape your arm behind your back. See if you can wrap your hand all the way around and then come back onto your back. Okay, and then you might need to reposition that hand so it's somewhere small of your back vicinity with your palm facing the floor. So my other arm is still tucked behind my back, okay? And then I'm gonna reach out through my right arm out to the side. Turn your head to the left toward the arm behind your back. And already you're probably gonna notice some sensations in that shoulder. We're gonna gently press the arms, the head into the floor. And then relax, head's gonna soften back to the center. Turn your head to the left, press your arms into the floor. And then relax your head back to the center. Try that a few more rounds. And if you want, even try to reach your right palm away from the body. So you're lengthening that arm. It's really not going to go anywhere, but it might add a little more sensation. Now we're going to do one more and then a possible add-on, depending on if that feels right for you. Okay, from here, see if you might drop your knees to the left. Look to the left. Reach through your right arm, press your arms down, and then come back to the center. Knees up, head up. And if that's too much, just repeat without the knee drop. So knees drop, there'll be a little more pressure through that left side. You might push into your feet, your right hand. Exhale, back to the start. Okay, so a few more rounds with or without the knee drop. Go into that on an inhale and then exhale, come back. Check in with your state of mind. Probably by now you're going to be very focused on what you're doing, your body, your breathing. So we get a little more into our ekagra, a little bit more into that single pointed focus. Just absorbed in what we're doing. Not worrying about the past or the future or flitting around like a butterfly from one thing to the next. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and come back to center, roll to your right side, take that arm up and hand on the shoulder, circle it around a little bit. If you need to, you can use your bottom arm to support your head. Go the other direction, just to loosen that up after all that pressure on the shoulder. Okay, and then we'll come back around to our back. Take a pause, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so now we're going to be rolling to our left and draping the right arm behind your back and then come back onto your back. Your left arm is out to a T. You might, depending on how your shoulder feels, you might need to move your hand a little up or down, but somewhere around the small of your back if you can. Turn your head to the right and press your arms, shoulders into the floor, side of your head, and then relax back to the start. And repeat. And you might start to reach your left arm away from your shoulder if that feels okay. It's a very mild, small movement, but it adds a little bit of extra stretch through the fascia. You could try, as your head comes back to center, reach your arm away first, then turn your head, then press your hand, your arm. You'll get a little bit more reach if you try that first. Okay, so we'll add the knees dropping to the right if that feels okay for you. Now you might notice one side is a little tighter than the other. Typically for me, my right side's a little tighter because I use that arm more, so it doesn't go down as easy as my left. So just go easy on yourself. If this causes any discomfort, then don't do the knees. You might also notice any tightness around the left outer hip. Two more of these. After this next round, we're going to go ahead and come back to center. Roll toward your left side. Hand on top of your shoulder and just circle. Do about 5 times each direction. Just loosen up that shoulder. And after you do a few times each direction, we'll go ahead and come back to our backs. All right, so just take a moment again, settle, breathe. Let's give the arms a little break. Take your arms out to a T. Let's go back to some hips. So we'll go into figure 4, cross ankle over knee, and then go into a windshield wiper. Let's notice any sensations here in those outer hips, lower back, maybe some IT bands. Next time you drop toward the right, stay there, head to the left, and then just do a little kind of micro movement. So you rock a little in and out. So it's a smaller movement. Just make sure your breathing doesn't have to be a specific breath pattern. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So drop the legs over to the left And then a little micro movement. So you just rock in and out. And come back to the center, uncross. And we'll bring the other foot on top, left foot. Figure four, go into the regular windshield wiper first. Next time you come over to your left, stay toward the left, and just a little rocking motion. So make that movement smaller. And then we'll do that on the other side, dropping over to the right, as far as you like, and a little rocking. Okay, and then back to the center. Feet flat. Full breath in, full breath out. And we're going to take our right arm overhead into a full body stretch. Lift your head and you're going to tuck your hand behind the back of your head and then hold your elbow with your opposite hand. And then we're going to inhale, reach through the elbow. Exhale, relax the elbow. Inhale, reach through the elbow. Exhale, relax through the elbow. Couple more. Working here under the armpit chest region, a lot of lymph there. Also stretching our tricep area. Some of the lung tissue on the right side. Let's accentuate this by straightening the right leg. And now, almost like you do your up slip, down slip, we're going to reach through the elbow and the leg at the same time. Inhale and then exhale, soften. Go ahead, turn your head to the left now. You might find you get a little bit more reach. The other thing you might try is contracting the left side waist. So to do that, I slide my left shoulder and my left hip towards each other. And then I might get a little more open through the right side if I contract more on the left side. But that's optional. Everything's always optional. You could just reach and release and keep it a little more simple. Try to finish your exhales. One more. Come back to center, straighten that leg. Walk the upper body over to the left, keeping the hand behind the back of the head. Turn your head toward the left. And now we're going to do that same thing, but on an angle now, so more on the side bend. Inhale, reach through the elbow, side bend. Now we'll contract that sideways, like we talked about in the last move. Inhale, reach through the elbow, slide your left hip, left shoulder towards each other. And release. See what it might feel like to keep the left shoulder blade a little more on the floor. Sometimes it'll roll toward the side, and that's another sensation. So you could try to let the shoulder blade lift, or you could try to keep it down and see how that changes, where you feel the release. So you could focus on contracting your left side, or you could focus on pressing down through your right outer shoulder, outer rib cage. It's slightly different. Okay, make your way back to the center, release that arm, and take a couple of breaths. Left arm into a full body stretch. And then take that hand, lift your head, tuck it behind you. And then hold on to that elbow, draw it toward the center. And then first round, we'll keep both feet flat. And just inhale, reach through the left elbow. Exhale, soften. And you might turn your head to the right, so it's a little bit out of the way. Couple more with the feet flat. Notice if you are tighter on one side versus the other. And then we'll straighten the left leg. Flex the left foot and reach through the leg and the arm at the same time. As always, you can keep this a little more gentle. If you want more, you're contracting the right side waist by drawing your hip and your shoulder more towards each other. And I'm just always coming back, staying present with what you're feeling, present with your breath. Trying to keep that focus on what you're doing. And in this way, our somatic work helps our neuroplasticity. It helps our brain maps. So really good for the brain to do this type of work. Okay, so now we're gonna bend that knee, so both feet flat again, and we're gonna come into the side bend. So we'll walk over toward the right. Move your shoulder blades, your rib cage, looks like that banana shape. And then we're gonna inhale, reach to the elbow, contract the right side waist. Exhale, soften, and repeat. If you want to try a little something different, press the left side rib, side of the shoulder down as you do your side bend. See if that changes something. Of course, if there's any kind of discomfort or pain, you make this very, very soft. So we can still do the movement, but we back off so that we create more safety in our body. A lot of times our mind gets to be more monkey mind when we don't feel safe because we're being hyper vigilant and we're always looking for, what's going to happen next? When's the other shoe going to drop? We've had a, streak of bad luck, then we think, oh, more bad things are coming. But we can also change that mindset. One more. We're going to release and come all the way back to center. Let your arms come down and take a few breaths. We are going to grab our 2 single balls next. So if you're at home, you might need to take them out of the sock. So we need 2 singles. We're gonna have our feet flat, and we're gonna take 1 ball in each outer glute. So they're gonna go in the glutes. So a lot of times when we're tight in here in these outer hip muscles, it can be hard to do things like sit cross-legged. We are gonna sit for a little meditation at the end of practice today. So we wanna loosen this area up. So take your feet a little wider than your hips and just do a little partial windshield wiper, because you know that pressure is going to go in more the more you drop your knees. So how far into it you go is up to you. And at any time you might want to like reposition the balls, try a few different spots. Even doing things like a figure 4 or a pigeon pose, this area can limit us if it's really restricted. Maybe you go into like almost like a swivel of your hips. So swivel one hip up, the other hip up. And you can let your head roll toward the hip that's coming up. That ball kind of slides up and down that outer glute area, glute medius, minimus area. And then reposition the balls so they're in a little closer, and see how it might feel to pick your knees up. And then we're gonna make some little circles with the knees. And then reverse, go the other way. And come back to center. Let's go ahead and try to take the legs up towards straight. They don't have to go all the way straight. Push those balls in even a little bit more, maybe a little higher. So you feel the pressure, if that's okay for you. And always remember, if I forget to say, always put blanket over the tennis balls if they're too intense. So now we're pressing into kind of piriformis, potential sciatic nerve area. Go ahead and make some little circles again and just see how it feels. And always change the position of the balls if you like. Just go slowly. And other direction. Okay, and then slowly bring the feet back down. Reposition the balls again to a new spot. And then we'll go into the one we did last week where we slide one hip up, the other hip down, the little swivel on the lower back again. Swivel and feel the balls just kind of press in and massage this gluteal area, often a lot of tightness in there. Just go ahead and do a couple more rounds. Okay, and then go ahead and back to center, and you can take the balls out and feel, sense, notice. Okay, come back to figure 4, right ankle on top. Grab your double set of tennis balls, put them off to the left outer hip with one ball stacked on top of each other, so they're vertical. And then you're gonna rock over onto the balls and release. And then you can reposition the balls, like kind of like them almost like tucked under a little bit. And maybe even like a slight diagonal. So you can play with that. It doesn't have to be exactly straight up and down, but I move the balls quite often. So I hit different parts of the glutes. So I'm kind of doing it every time. You can do it every couple times, whatever feels good. You can go a little lower. So it's like the upper outer IT band. Try not to get too much on a bone. Keep it on those more fleshy areas. So like you want to put it right on your outer hip bone. That might not feel so good. Some of us have a little more padding than others, so that make it a little different if you have less padding. So be mindful of that. Okay, and then undo, pause. Switch your balls to the other side when you're ready. And just feel maybe you have a little more energy flow through that left side. Left ankle crosses over, position your balls, maybe a little tuck them under, and then you're gonna roll up onto the balls. And then just kind of reposition them whenever you like. You can hit closer in, lower down. You can hit more glute, or you can hit more upper leg. Sometimes if you find a good spot, you might want to do that little micro movement, a little rocking. So I found a spot I really wanted to kind of loosen up a bit. So I'm going to just rock for a moment. Okay, when you have enough, we'll go ahead and take those balls away and pause. Let's go ahead and slide the legs out for a moment. We haven't done that in a while. Just take a couple breaths. So for me, I find when I do this work on the hips, it benefits the lower back as well. So if I loosen up the tightness in my hips, outer hips, glutes, my lower back seems to be happier. So just notice any effects for you might be different. And then we're gonna bend the knees, roll to the side, and come on up into a seated position. All right. So sitting up nice and tall, let your hands rest down, close your eyes if that's comfortable. Observe your breath, the soft flow of the breath in and out of your nose. Notice your state of mind. Okay, so from here, take your right arm out to the side, turn your thumb down, bring it behind your back. So we've been doing a lot of these types of positions. And then we're gonna take our left arm, reach it up, bring it behind your back. Now, as you inhale, we're gonna press the lower hand in and down, reach the top elbow up, and then soften. You might close your eyes if you like, or just cast the eyes down. Inhale, bottom hand draws down, top arm reaches up. Almost like you're gonna drag the skin away from the middle back. So dragging the bottom skin down, the top skin up, and release. Really feel that length through the back of the neck, the lower back. One more. After you finish that exhale, release your arms. Take a couple breaths. Okay, other side. Left arm out to the side. Turn your thumb down. Bring your hand somewhere around the lower back so that kind of small of the back area. Other hand up and behind the back of the head. And then inhale, lift the head, draw down through the lower hand, like you're lengthening the skin, and then exhale, soften, and repeat. How long can you make your inhales and your exhales? The chin be a little down toward the chest as you do this, which will help you lift the back skull. Okay, go ahead and release. The arms come down, take a couple breaths. So now we're gonna do a little myofascial release for the head and neck. So a lot of times when we're in monkey mind, we've got too much energy up here, so we can think of this as letting energy drain down. So you're gonna take your right hand behind your ear, and you're gonna be pulling that skin down. And then you're gonna take your other hand around the top of the head toward the temple, and you'll be pulling that skin up. Very similar to what we just did, but this is gonna be just for the side of the neck. So gently pull your bottom hand down, so you're sliding through the skin, and pull the top hand up. Just imagine you can release any excess energy here in the head. Let it drain down the neck. And then repeat, bring the fingers up, and then slide down as you tip your head. And we're gonna do 3 more rounds. Inhale, the head could come back up. Exhale, slide. Go ahead, 2 more rounds on your own. You try a slightly different position of that bottom hand. You might go a little bit more back. And then come back and pause. Maybe move your head around a little bit after you finish that one. You can encourage drainage as well. So now we'll do that on the other side. Bring your hand behind your ear, other hand kind of around the temple. If you can, get right on the skin under your hair, and then pull down as you tip your head. Try to go all the way down toward the collarbone, and then we come back up. Maybe trying some different angles with the hand. 2 more. And then go ahead, release, come back up, move your head around a little bit. Okay, grab your strap. Bring the soles of the feet together into your bound ankle. Put your strap around the bottom of your feet. And hold on to the strap as close to the feet as you can. Good. Okay, so we're gonna inhale, pull on the strap, arch your back, pull your shoulders back, open your chest, and then exhale, round. Tip your sit bones forward and then press your feet into the strap, pull back with your shoulders, and then repeat. Inhale, arch, shoulders move back, chest forward. And as you exhale and round, push your feet into the strap and just round into your upper back. Couple more. Last one. And come all the way back up, release your straps, set that to the side, bring your legs up, straighten the legs, give them a little shake, a little bounce. Check on time. Okay, we're gonna be coming back onto our backs. So go ahead, come back down onto your backs. I want a blanket under your head. I'm going to save a little time for our seated meditation. Keep your strap nearby. Okay, so we're going to take our legs straight up and cross the right ankle in front of the left ankle and then bend your knees. You're in like the sukhasana on your back. And we're going to take our strap around the feet so that you can use it to pull your feet in toward your chest. Okay, so hold as close as you can to your feet. This helps keep the spine in a neutral position. We're going to take an inhale, and as you exhale, pull on the strap, but push your feet into the strap. Maybe press your legs out, and then relax. Okay, so do what works for you. You can go a little softer. You can make this a little more challenging if you like. Just engage and release. Keeping your mind focused on what you're feeling. Draw your shoulders down. One more of these. Good, and then release, bring both feet down for a moment. So these actions just preparing us to be able to sit as we work on the hips. But we also did some work with the upper body to kind of work on that binding position that we did seated. Really good for reining in the mind when we do poses that create more restriction. Okay, legs up, left ankle in the front, bend the knees, strap around the feet. a little flex to the feet. So strap should go around that pinky edge. Then take an inhale, exhale, pull on the strap, draw your shoulders down, but also press your feet into the strap. And then soften. Okay, so you can find as many points of engagement as you want. So maybe you're just pressing and pulling. Maybe you're drawing your shoulders down. Maybe you're pressing out into your arms. A lot of different points of engagement. We could do some of them, all of them, none of them. Two more. So drawing the lower belly in might help you pull those knees in a little closer. Okay, let it go. Let feet come down. Take a breath or two. Maybe you want to circle your wrists out after the strap work. Okay, legs back up. Take your right leg in front of your left leg. Now, instead of the ankle, we're crossing the inner thighs. And we're going to squeeze those inner thighs like we did earlier, and then bend the knees. So now we're in reclined Gomukhasana. You might hold on to your knees, your shins, or you could also go back to the strap. It's kind of hard to get on for this one, but it can help you have something to press out into. Okay, so if you want to try it, you can. If you can easily hold on to your ankles, shins, or feet, you don't even need the strap. Okay, squeeze the inner thighs. Take an inhale, exhale, draw the legs down and in, but keep your shoulders also drawing down. Inhale, relax. Exhale, draw in. Any amount. Now we'll hold it and do a little rock from one side to the other. Okay, release. Legs up, left leg crosses at the inner thigh, squeeze the legs together, then bend the knees and hold wherever you can. Ankles, shins, knees, feet. Squeeze those inner thighs. Then we take an inhale, exhale, we draw in. And then repeat. Inhale, with a slight softening. Exhale, draw in. As you pull in, maybe think about drawing low belly, navel to spine. Gives you a little more space to draw in. After this next one, keep it in and start your rocking side to side. Okay, and then go ahead, release the legs all the way down. Take a moment. We're going to do one more thing before Shavasana. Now, if you have that blanket under your head, you probably won't need it because we're going to go back to the right arm into full body stretch. Actually, sorry, not yet. We're going to do the left arm first. Roll to your right and then take your hand behind your back. So we're going to do that Gomukhasana again. And then roll back. Hand is somewhere around the small of your back. Now right arm up. And you're going to lift your head and tuck your hand so that you're resting your head on your forearm. Now, if it would feel good for you, we're going to separate the feet and drop the knees to the left. If that doesn't feel good, the knees are going to stay up. Okay? Decide if that would feel good. Now we're going to breathe. Notice restrictions in the body. We're in this bound up position again. Now, as you inhale, reach through your top elbow. Notice lengthening through your whole belly, your hip. Exhale, soften. And then repeat. Inhale, reach up through your top elbow, down through your bottom elbow. Maybe push into the foot a bit on the right and relax. As long as that doesn't bother your knee, if it does, you're not doing that. About top elbow up, bottom elbow bar down, and then soften. So let's go ahead, release knees back up, release your arms, your hands. Maybe you want to do some circles with your arms. They felt a little tight in that position. And then we'll do that on the other side. So roll to the left, bring your right hand to the small of your back, palm facing the floor, and then left arm overhead, tuck it behind your head. And you're either gonna stay there or drop the knees to the right. Might even look a little to the left. And breathe there for a moment. Feel where there's tightness. And then we're gonna reach through that left elbow, reaches up, right elbow reaching down, and then relax. And repeat. Maybe you're gently pressing into your left foot. Feel how that opens up the outer hip a little bit more. Last one. And bring the knees back up, unwind the arms, and then circles or wrist movement just to loosen up those arms. You can take the arms up to the ceiling if you want. Just release. Maybe you feel like shaking them out or circling them out. Okay. Then when you feel ready, let's go ahead, hug the knees to the chest, rock on the lower back. If you want to move into happy baby, you can go ahead and do so. And then we'll come into Shavasana in your own time. So take your time and relax into the floor, into your breathing. Notice your state of mind. Maybe there's a little less monkey, a little less donkey, a little less butterfly. Now in the Shavasana, as we come into stillness, sometimes when the body becomes still, the mind wants to become active. Or it becomes heavy, dull, wants to go to sleep. So in Shavasana, we don't want to have a monkey mind jumping all over. We also don't want the doll mind to put us to sleep. So we try to focus on our anchor if the mind starts to become active. So maybe it's your breath. Flow of the breath in the tip of your nose. Maybe it's a particular sensation in the body that could anchor you, like feeling of your back body on the floor. Maybe we need a word if the mind won't settle, or a phrase, such as I am at peace, I am grounded. Maybe we even move into nirodha, where we don't need that anchor anymore. We can simply be. I'll share a little reading as you continue to rest. This is from Lao Tzu, the author of the Tao Te Ching. I think last week we had that reading about the Tao. So he says, we always hope someone else has the answer. But some other place will be better. Some other time, all will turn out. This is it. No one else has the answer. No other place will be better, and it has already turned out. At the center of your being, you have the answer. You know who you are, and you know what you want. There is no need to run outside for better seeing, nor peer from a window. Rather, abide at the center of your being, for the more you leave it, the less you learn. Abide at the center of your being, for the more you leave it, the less you learn. Now, in the next couple of moments, I'm going to start to just notice again your state of mind. Notice where the mind went to when you were in your shavasana. You're able to stay in either ekagra or nirodha, or was it more about the monkey, butterfly, the donkey? No right or wrong. It takes discipline, practice, what we call tapas, repetition, to see results. So no matter where you are today, that is tapas. That is practice. Move when you're ready, but slow motion, some deeper breaths. Eventually come onto your side. We'll just have a short pause there before coming up into a seated position. We'll try one of those methods for meditation. So it could be a visual, the flame or the mandala, or it could be the sun or moon, anything to focus on, or it could be a word, a mantra, soham or peace, love, anything that resonates. Could be counting your breath. So we could do an inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2. So we have different ways, or maybe you want to focus on the rise and fall of your belly. So it could be a bodily sensation. So if you're comfortable, you close your eyes and sit up tall. Or maybe cast the eyes down if you prefer to have them open. Come into your breathing and decide on your method of meditation to harness the mind and harness the senses. Come into a focal point of either a visual, a word, the breath, or a bodily sensation. And we're going to stay in this for about a minute or two, and then see if we might move into nirodha, let go of the tool. So in a way, that's a little bit of a crutch, but it's a good tool. But maybe eventually we can let go of it and be in open awareness. See if you might let go of the tool and have more of a holistic awareness of your whole being, other than a very specific focus. Let that attention be soft and diffuse, or open, spacious. We'll start now to bring it to a close by bringing our palms together. Take an inhale, exhale, bow to your heart. Namaste. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you. Very good.
Good, good.